All right, welcome back, everybody. Good to see you. Paul Tranny here with the one and only Krishnapriya Gupta and KP, as you're known. Just go by KP. Keep it simple.
Hi.
Everybody give KP a warm welcome.
Hey,
or a warm welcome
everybody.
back. How you
Happy
feeling?
happy to be back, and thank you so much for having me again.
Yeah, of
Yeah,
course.
You'll have more of me today.
Yes, we dig it. You're looking fantastic. You got the cool designer scarf. I think we're
Yes.
ready to...
Yeah, and we're again contrast.
Yeah, we went with the solid colors.
Yes.
Different but the same is kind of what we're going for.
The pair.
Because again, designer, just that's us.
Yeah.
We have a developer conference going on here in San Francisco, by the way. Have you noticed?
Oh, really? Okay.
Game developer, GDC,
that's
Game Developer
awesome. Yeah,
Conference.
yeah,
So essentially
yeah,
it's just a
it's-
bunch of hoodies and jeans running around the city. I'm sorry if I offended anybody, it's hoodies and jeans.
Yeah, that's what it is.
But anyway, we're getting off track. So yeah, we have a fun day planned.
Yes,
Just so everybody knows, I want to say, because like people could kind of catch up with what you did yesterday, because it's going to be a continuation of that, which is also available on demand, so you can go to Creative Cloud on YouTube.
Hello, everyone. I mean, I see a lot of eyes coming in, so
Yes.
I should.
Anybody from New Delhi, as always.
Yeah, you're back on track.
Anyone from like India.
Um,
Germany's in the house, though. I appreciate that. Sweet.
wow.
We discovered it's like 3 a.m. in New Delhi, typically when we go live. So, we're taking it into the midnight hour. Not really, but this is our last sort of like live event today.
Mm-hmm.
Happy to have you here, and thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Huzaifa from Pakistan. Always love hearing where you're from. Romania in the house. Kuwait. Brazil, Germany as well.
Oh, there's India.
Thank you. Hello.
New Delhi.
How would you say that name?
Dhanya.
Danya?
Dhanya.
Oh, that's a
yeah.
beautiful name.
Dhanya.
Danya.
Yeah.
I like
It's
that.
actually pronounced Dhanya.
Tanya?
D-H.
Danya. Danya.
Yeah, Dhanya.
I think we'll spend a good 45 minutes me working on pronouncing one name.
Yeah.
So let's move on. We should probably
Okay.
take a look at you got a fancy design brief on your screen. I'm excited about this.
Yes, and that's from yesterday. I would like to do a quick recap of what we did yesterday and where we are at. So,
Cool. And we are in beautiful San Francisco. Just so you know, we are not in New Delhi, in case you were wondering. But yeah, right now we're living in your screen. But yeah, San Francisco, where it's beautiful and sunny. Not really. It's been
Yes.
raining.
It's a good weather today.
Yeah.
It's sunny and it's
yeah.
dry, and which is kind of nice.
Yeah, totally. Kind of
Yeah.
dig it. So,
Okay.
yeah, so we're going to dive into this. And
okay.
I love this sort of start to finish process. Kind of what we're doing. See you later. We'll see them. We got more guests coming back tomorrow as well. So that was Christine who just walked out. All right.
All right. So I am working on this project called Playfully. It's a brand, Playfully. Your favorite,
Yes.
Playfully.
Don't get me started.
Yeah. So this is a brand for children, and it's a brand for children and parents, young parents who are looking to buy, who's trying to find a solution around toy purchases. And they want to be informed, and they want to buy the right toys for their kids who are below 8 years, and they want to be informed because these below 8 years are critical years, and the kind of toys you give to your children, it's very, very important because that adds to the development of the child. So that was the design problem that I picked it up because I'm a parent myself, and I've been living with this problem to pick up the right toys and what are these right toys. And so I did a lot of research, and I did a lot of background check on like what are the kind of toys out there, and who are these players, and what are they doing, and etc.
Yeah, and I think a good point you brought up yesterday kind of in your research is like not having the toys do all the work, or
Yes.
not letting the toys have all the fun, like doing all the creativity. That's the
Yes.
child's job.
Yes, and the toys should be just very, very basic and boring in other ways.
To an adult, you're like, this is
to an adult, it should be like boring.
This is a Lego I just stepped on tonight.
Yeah.
To a kid, you're like, you just stepped on a starship.
Yeah, exactly.
Or something like that.
Yeah, because they have a innate ability to make something out of nothing, which is something that we need to encourage. And the right toys can do that.
And I, in essence, I think that's what we do as designers, is create
something out of nothing.
Something out of nothing, which is the hardest, by the way, is when you do have to create something out of nothing. So everybody would agree when somebody's like, oh, just paint me something. Oh, can you just draw me something? Like, really, just anything? Like, narrow it down. Like, help me out here. Which is also kind of brings up the challenge that hopefully everyone is aware of. But essentially, we have this design challenge giving you some guidance. It's not just blue skies, rubber bands, poster. And so that's the task today.
And that's going to be exciting. I mean, posters are always fun to make.
Yeah. And I think we might get into maybe making one today too.
Yeah. If time permits, I'm going to show you some poster design today.
Yeah. Okay.
Perfect. So when I start any project, any design project, I like to inform myself with, I like to throw some questions at myself and try to, do a little deep research on what exactly I'm designing for. So these are the questions that I like to address, that what is the design challenge here? Who is the audience? Who am I designing for? What is the scope of this project? Who is the competition? Because it's important to know what is out there already and what is working and not working in your, competition zone. And what is the tone do I need to portray? As, like what is, I'm in, MFA design program, and my design director, the program director always says that the gestalt of any project should be right,
The gestalt.
Gestalt,
which is hard to, I'm sure, Tim, it's a German word, if I'm not mistaken.
Yes.
Which is hard to explain. The gestalt is kind of like the overall feeling.
Yes. It's the feeling that, which it has to look right. It has to feel right. Everything should come together and work towards one central tone, as we say. And
you could just page down.
So the next thing is I would like to sort of introduce the project. What is Playfully? It is a hypothetical brand that I'm trying to create that focuses on the toys that stimulate child's mind, enhances creativity, and encourages activity. The kind of toys that we select is very, very important, and hence Playfully wants to promote such toys that gives you opportunity for imaginative play. Moving on to next. This is the kind of scope of work that we've been doing. Yesterday what we did was we worked on the logo, we selected typefaces, and we selected a color palette. And today we will work on something fun. We'll be working on graphics and icons and illustrations, and hopefully we'll start off the posters. And day 3, we'll continue developing and extend the brand voice, posters, and more stuff. I mean, surprise.
Yeah, it's good, and just like we'll play with it. We'll have our own little play and our own little fun working on this today, and see how far we can get.
Yeah.
It's good times. You're going to be working in like Illustrator mainly?
Yes, I mean I'll keep switching between Illustrator and InDesign, but most designing part, like for the layouting purposes, then I'll switch to InDesign, but for the illustration and logo, it's more Illustrator.
Yeah. And your shortcut for the day, I think, is compliments of Ryan, or at least yesterday. It is Shift W. InDesign, Shift W goes full screen. So that's hats off to you.
That's something I learned.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So that's good. Perfect.
Okay, next we go. So this is the inside that kind of kickstarts this project. As toys become more complicated, we lose touch with basic forms of play. So, the keyword is basic. So, and this kind of informs the next thing that's coming up, which is the tagline: the basic toys, better play. And it's our entire story, our entire, the brand vocabulary, brand voice will revolve around this. Basic forms, basic colors.
Yes.
Very basic.
I have some. This is really fun.
And we're rating basic colors.
Yeah, just like
Black
us.
and
We are
white.
coordinated. You know what? We don't need to be loud in how we dress. We have all the creativity happening
Yes,
right here. We're
absolutely.
reserving all of it for the screen.
Yeah.
But I also have a great idea for a poster, but we will do that later.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, fun.
That's the look and feel. That's how I want this. That's how, in fact, not I want, it's what the brand demands to look and feel because it's for children and it needs to be in a certain tone. It should be playful, it should be basic. There are some keywords that I kind of help me, mash up this whole look and feel. Abstract, vibrant, creative shapes. So it's basically how different elements interact with each other, the colors interact with type, the illustrations formed out of basic shapes, the photography style, everything. So yeah.
I like it.
Yeah.
I like different aspects of it. I'm sure everybody's like eating up this screen, but even those gradients down there are nice.
Yeah, I mean,
So.
it not necessarily be exactly like this, but this is something the overall, look and feel.
Mm-hmm.
Like, okay.
Into it.
So next is the color and type. This is the set of colors that we selected as the 4 very vibrant colors and 2 very neutral colors to kind of balance it out. The type is Gilroy and Archer. Gilroy is a very geometric typeface, and Archer is a humanist typeface, which kind of balances out the very geometric, structured type, of Gilroy. So, and they are kind of very different, as you say, and
Yeah.
very similar in the same way.
They're
So
both
we
just
kind of
nice.
complement each other.
Yeah. Into it.
Yeah, moving on to next. This is the logo concept. This is how we pull apart a logo. Like we kind of deconstruct before we construct, sort of thing. Which is a mix of the brand initial, an aspect of play, which is pretend play, because that's the first thing a kid does with any toy. He starts pretending with it. So I thought it's kind of important to introduce it in the logo. And then our little child icon, which is the heart of all this. And when we put together, boom, we get a logo.
It's
And
that
that's
easy. You just hit next slide.
Yeah.
There's your logo.
Yeah.
It was only that easy.
Yeah, I wish.
And this is what we worked on yesterday. Again, this
Yeah.
is available on demand. You can kind of check that out. And then we were all given pirate names at that time.
Yeah, and that was
I don't know if you
fun.
want to kind of explain.
Mine was like
You
something.
kind of want to
very-
like kind of explain this a little bit because again, it has
Yeah.
like some people
Yeah,
might
so
say
this is-
pirate. There's a patch. There's like
Yes, this is a pirate face. Like if you see the deconstruct, there was this pirate pretend play that I had, and I wanted to somehow incorporate in the logo and integrate with the brand initial. So I sort of, as you can see, the P is inverted, and it forms the pirate patch.
So everybody like take
And
your
then
head
it's,
and then
and
just
do
turn
like
it,
this.
turn it this way. That's right.
Yeah,
Actually, I
and
guess
you can actually read the
this
P,
way for you.
and then it's actually the face of the kid with a pirate patch where he's pretending. So it's very abstract and sort of very geometric, and that's how I wanted it to be because there's a sense of discovery here. You join the dots and you make something out of it. So make something out of nothing, sort of a feeling.
Yeah.
A sense of discovery.
That was good. Good to
yeah.
see you, Philippe. Kevin, you're a good call. Like, kind of using, at the end of the day, it's going to be adjusting everything optically. At the end of the day, it is an optical, you know what I'm saying? Like, it has to look pleasing to the eye. It has to have that
Yes.
good gestalt. So even if it's not exactly right, it's maybe not meant to be. Otherwise, a machine could do it.
Yeah.
But you've positioned everything literally and
Yeah.
with purpose.
Yeah. Because even if I have used X and I have optically adjusted the Playfully, there is a machine command where you can set the word optically,
Oh, yeah.
in design has that feature. But even though we do that, at times it doesn't look right. You feel that the spacing between A and Y is not right, and F and U is slightly less. So you need to go ahead and do it manually and adjust it. And to make sure that you're doing it right, so you have to work with things like 3/4 of your X or like half of your X, and that's exactly what I've done. And also the spacing between your icon and your logo type, where this entire thing is the primary mark, as we call it. Then this is our icon, and this is our logo type, which is the text. So there has to be some spacing relationship. So the good thing about logo design is that, that's how I follow, and that's my style, that there has to be a relation with everything. Every element should have a relationship with everything. Like even the spacing between the icon and the logo type, it's exactly the size of the P, and it's equally spaced. So I just feel that it looks more symmetrical, and it looks more balanced as a
I'm
logo.
into it. I like it. And by the way, so in honor of this project, we're going to give away a pirate pillow, if you've noticed.
Pirate pillow.
Notice how it is. This is the patch, and then he's just kind of straight face frowning. Did you notice that?
Yeah, it's like no expression.
No expression.
Yeah.
Pirate, one eye. So pirate pillow, that's actually in about 45 minutes. But I will leave this here just to remind you. Oh, I guess it could be InDesign.
Yeah.
So there's that. But this is fantastic. Sweet.
Yeah. Next is we just explored this logo with some colors, and just to show, this is the kind of color palette. One is a color, and that's just to see how the logo works in a reverse sort of a way. Like if you have to produce it in like on a dark background, this is how it would look. And
Sorry.
yeah, and the color one is obviously
Super
the brand
strong.
colors. Yes,
The font and everything, it's just like super strong and obviously iconic, and totally works. So I'm into it.
yeah. Okay, so the next thing that we go into is the fun stuff. The icons, which are based on the logo, by the way. And I did a little homework, and I made couple of icons here, and I have few sketches here. I don't know whether you can see it.
Oh yeah, we can kind of, and we can always move the camera. But
I have some more sketches, which I'm gonna show you now how to make these and more of it.
Do you want to show these?
It's all right.
It's okay.
It's all right.
Cool. And the cool thing is you kind of already have done some sketches that kind of ended up right here, and it's pretty straightforward.
Yeah.
Get some curls. And
Yeah. So, do you want me to go more, or?
No, I think
and we can
should
just
we play
get
with
started.
this some more?
Yeah.
Let's just
yeah,
play
we can
around.
So we can just get started with the icons and see how does it look, and what can we do with it. All right. So we'll switch to Illustrator, and just like yesterday when I was working with grids to play with the logo, I'll again work with grids, and this is here. I just switched on my smart guides. It's like it just kind of starts off this invisible grid, and you can also do a snap to grid, which kind of is helpful because then whatever you create, it kind of snaps to the grid, and you don't have to keep zooming in and keep.
I feel like there's like two camps with that. There's like people who
at times
use the
it is
grid.
difficult.
Yeah, no, I mean, sometimes you use it, like sometimes you don't. I know people don't, some people just don't use the grid at all.
Yeah, because they want to be more spontaneous, which I agree. At times some projects do demand that sort of organic,
just kind
approach.
of free flow of thinking.
Yeah, because kind of grid can be at times restricting your sort of creativity, your flow of things. So
yeah, and the short of it is like there's no wrong way.
Yeah, there is no wrong way.
Like we're not here to tell you which way is right or wrong.
Yes, so I'll just pull up one this icon that we sort of start off with. Just base it.
So Lucian, I did my laptop cover on a live stream actually one time.
Oh,
but
really?
I need to just put it online for everybody. I just haven't had a chance.
Okay.
I'm sorry. Oh, well, I think one tip FYI. You can continue. Like, I
Yeah,
don't mean
sure.
to distract you.
No, I mean, I'll just keep working
But
on these.
Justin Mazel is a great person. We had him. He's an illustrator, and he does a lot of grid work too.
Oh, really?
But he takes some very simple shapes and makes very elaborate, gorgeous things with it.
No. Wow.
This isn't his, but this is something that he
Something
would make.
similar.
This is totally, he made this kind of futuristic building
Wow.
like this. This is actually in Illustrator, and this happens to be a free template that's available
That's
to
pretty
you.
detailed, you know. That
Oh,
must have
man.
taken a lot of
This
time.
is the best thing about this. Check this out. Oh, look at them. They like named all their layers.
Wow.
So you can turn things
Super
on
organized.
and off. Yeah. But what I actually want to, and I will be quiet. This is the biggest tip that I learned from him, and that's why I'm glad everybody's here. And everybody's going to be like, "Oh, you didn't know about that?" Yeah, I didn't know about it. If you want to work freeform, come in here and just do hide artboards. Because I used to always resize and stuff. You know, you're used to
Right.
having things off the pasteboard.
Right.
But just hide artboards, and you don't have to
So
worry.
everything is white.
Yeah, everything is
Oh.
white.
Everything is a
You could
blank
just
sheet.
again just start to work.
Right.
Again, because I'm gonna be creating like you or whatever. I'm gonna pretend to be you. That's
Okay.
what I start to do. Oh yes. So organic for design. Oh, that's interesting, Claire Cross. Whether organic translates well across like cultures. I don't know. Organic means like kind of free flowing and
Yeah.
natural. So yeah. Arturo, what is the full screen command in InDesign? I'm just gonna see if he knows because it's a shortcut of the day.
Right.
Come on, Arturo. Full screen. In InDesign.
So I'm just.
Boom. Shift W. Nailed it.
Oh, wow.
Here you go. Let me give you this. Ready? Catch. I wish it worked that way.
Soon it will be.
I
There was
love how
this.
simple this is. Like,
Yeah, it's just like I'm trying to create different. So you know how these like different kids have different hairstyles. You know, like they all look the same. You know, they have all around faces and big eyes, and but their hairstyles are like so different. So that's kind of very distinctive, and so I'm trying to differentiate with different kind of hairstyles and different accessories like cap, and some would have a pony, and some would have a sort of like open hair. Some would have like spikes or something.
yeah.
So I'm just gonna make these set of faces, kid faces
Yeah.
of different age
have at
groups.
it.
Yeah. So
Yes, that shortcut comes to you compliments of Ryan S. O'Donnell. So you were the one that told us about that shortcut in InDesign yesterday. Another shortcut for Illustrator, because I tend to, sometimes when I do work in the grid, I tend to toggle it on and off. I'm sure people know this. It's actually, you can probably dig it up, but it should be command, yep, apostrophe. We talked about that yesterday though too. And then you can do, is it option command apostrophe will turn on and off the lock, the snapping too. I could be wrong on that one. Oh, I got so many fun tips.
yeah.
You can continue.
Yeah.
But I think this is really cool too. Okay. I'm trying to get this kind of off a little bit. Is it?
So here also, just like the logo, you know, I'm trying to keep all the elements of these faces of a similar thickness, like, you know, the strands of the hair has the same thickness as the circle of the face, and the cap, the rim of the cap is again the same thickness as the circle of the face, so that it just again looks very similar to the logo, as if it's all a family, and it's different
Yeah, and it's
at the same
super.
time. Yeah.
It's super strong as an icon, which I
That
love.
looks like a mustache. A baby with
Oh
a
yeah,
mustache.
see there you go.
No.
A baby mustache.
Yeah.
Imagine if you had a baby and it came out and had a
mustache.
full stash.
Ogilvy India did they did a TV commercial for a glue brand, where the baby came out with a mustache because I don't know.
Because it would be hilarious. Tell me that's not a fun visual. You have a baby.
I don't know,
it's like a better mustache than you could ever grow. Like for me as a guy, I'd be like, oh.
Yeah,
I'd be like, oh, this kid is he's epic. He's the one. So Kevin S. Schneider brings up a good point, which is exactly what I was going to talk about. It's pixel perfect design, because that's what we're getting into, these fine details. We just kind of switched to my screen. Right. And this is often a problem that you might have, is as you're drawing, you get the position is 3.13.000.3.
You're right.
7.9, like, because it's that perfect. Like Illustrator
yeah.
can get down to that sub-pixel down to the third decimal point.
If you can really want to, I mean, there is no end to it. You can keep fine-tuning your work and get the best precision out of it as you want.
But then if you want to round it, if you're doing pixel design, but even just to round that, because that can get annoying. If you have like a certain, like, I don't know, problem with that type of thing. This is something we introduced a while ago, but it's this little icon right up here. This will snap to. In fact, I'll do this drop down.
Right.
All right. Sorry. I'm trying too many zoom features. But with it selected, I can just click this button. What this does, this will align art to the pixel grid on creation and transformation. Right, so that's essentially what that does. So with it turned on, that's when I get this little drop down. So I'm gonna click into this drop down, and this is the pixel snapping options. And if we take a closer look at this, we can snap to pixel while drawing, snap to pixel while moving, right? Or scaling. So now it's just gonna be like, if everything's checked, this is always gonna be snapping to pixels, right? So.
Right.
Clicking OK.
So I always,
get rid of that.
When I'm doing my icons, I always like to. So initially, when I'm doing the stroke, I go to Objects and go to Path and outline these strokes. So they become object. You know?
Yeah, and now
Now I can scale it to whatever extent, and it will not lose the thickness.
Yeah, and that is also a setting inside of Illustrator, as well.
Right.
Yeah, it's a preference that you can kind of change. But what this also does is I'm going to test this. Because I think it's going to. My question is whether it will change.
I mean, you can do this at any point whenever you feel you got what you needed, the thickness. You can just go ahead and do that, kind of.
This is what I wanted to point out. This is fascinating. This is another good reason of why you want to outline a stroke like you did.
Yeah.
This is perfect.
Right.
Let me show you this real fast.
Sure.
This is fascinating. In a total nerd sort of way, by the way. Because look at this. This is a stroke, as you can see. The Y position I just rounded to 80, right? So it's 80 point, and watch when I do what you did, which is perfect. Outline the stroke, it changes the position, right? The Y position to 71. So basically when it's a stroke, it does it from the actual vector line as opposed to the stroke itself.
Right.
So for what it's
Right. It will change its position.
Anyways, we can talk on and on about drawing a line. All right.
Yes, so now I would just doing the whole.
Arturo Gomez. I'm not sure how to drill down the layers shortcut in AI. I'm not sure what you mean by that. Drill down the layers shortcut.
Okay.
So thank you, Voodoo Val. We've had lots of entries today, and I think since everybody's kind of probably submitted one, they're kind of just tweaking it and resubmitting. And it has to be a new design is the goal. So like, yes, it can be, you know, maybe you're taking some elements from a poster you created earlier, but the whole idea is like you're creating a new design. So yeah.
So so since in our these icons, the eyes and the outline of the face is constant. So I will go ahead in the Pathfinder and I'll just what do you call this? Unify it, you know, so that they're all together. And anytime I want to change the color or do anything, I can just, I don't have to select separately and change the color. I can just do this and be done with it.
Done and done. Ryan says, ever been thought to reverse the create outline? Create centerline. Not sure what you mean there. I want to point this out. I'm sorry. Can we just give tips?
Yes.
Because this is important stuff.
Yeah.
This is the new. Do you know about like the properties panel? Like right here has like everything in it now.
Oh.
So if I want to like access the stroke, sure I can change the size, but
so
if I click on that,
to go to the separate window for it. Oh, that's
exactly.
excellent.
This opens up directly, and I'm trying to answer this question that I see there, but essentially if we want to align this stroke to say the inside, and let me just get out of this and just click on it, and you can see obviously how it changes.
Right.
I think ultimately the question is like, even when I create something, could these be the defaults? Might be another thought, but anyways. It does. It actually retains it. If you change these settings, any new line you draw will keep those
So
settings.
it's something that you just go to the Illustrator set preferences and you like.
Yeah, and
select
actually what it does is it just keeps it whatever you had.
Right.
Done and done.
Okay. So my one icon is ready. And I'm gonna, and this is the second one.
Ryan Ford, I see what you're saying. I would love that exact same feature that you're talking about. I wish that was a thing.
Yeah.
Because basically, like Ryan Ford's talking about, like if you ever found this shape and you wanted to maybe like Adobe Capture can capture the shape, but ultimately what you want, if you were ever given this file, you hope that maybe you have some strokes. And when you capture something with Adobe Capture, it just does fills.
Yeah, it doesn't do the strokes, right?
Yeah, so it's kind of hard to.
I mean, that would be interesting if at any point, like in future, that kind of a feature, because it's really helpful.
Daniel's saying maybe one day there will be an Adobe Master program that has all Illustrator, Photoshop, Lightroom, After Effects in it.
Oh, wow.
What do you think of that?
Confusing, but sounds could be interesting.
I think he would hopefully launch it at night, and then the next morning when you wake up, it's finally open because it has everything in it.
Yeah, I can't imagine the vector and pixel both. How will that work?
I don't ever see that happening.
Yeah,
No. But what I will say is what I would love to see someday is what if there was like a program agnostic file format.
What would that be?
So this isn't an AI file, it's just a dot file. So when you open it up in Illustrator, you get all the vectors. You can also open this up in Photoshop and you'll get all of it in layers.
Right.
You can open up in After Effects and it'll also be in layers ready to animate. Is this what I'm thinking about?
Oh.
But I'm also a little crazy and this may or may not be water, but it's water.
Okay.
This is the thing. We always add things.
And I'm trying to make a cool guy now.
Ooh, we're doing a cool guy haircut?
Yeah,
Ooh.
with some spikes there. The idea is to have fun and make different kinds of kids. There are all kinds of kids out there, so.
We're doing cool kid haircut.
Cool kid haircut.
Cool kid haircut. Does your son have a cool kid haircut?
No, he doesn't have a cool kid. He has. He's a nice boy haircut sort of a thing. So, yeah, he does want at times, when there's like a crazy day.
Is that my hair? I'm trying to stick it up more.
Yeah, that's more like it. So he would
mine would be a swoop.
Yeah, it'll be like more like a swirl sort of a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, we could try that. Be fun. Yeah. I mean, kids like, they come up with all sort of ideas, right? I mean, they would see something in somewhere, and they would come home and say that, yeah, I want that kind of
that kind of
haircut, or that kind of hairstyle.
I used to carry a comb in my back pocket and comb my hair, but not even look in a mirror. I just would just comb it. I didn't know if I was trying to even. And then one day I had my comb in my back pocket and I had a pencil in my back pocket.
Oh wow!
And I'm like, this is weird. Why am I telling you this? I was like, why don't I just have one thing instead of two? So I just melted the comb on the end of the pencil. And then I thought I was so cool because I could write and then I could comb my hair.
Wow, you actually did that?
Yeah, melted this weird pencil comb. Except for when I grab the wrong end and then I'm just drawing on my forehead.
You're funny.
Matthew Manning, I agree with you. I think a lot of these people are way smarter than we are here at Adobe who create some of this stuff, by the way, just FYI. If you ever get a chance, check out Adobe Sneaks. If you do a search for that online, not now, stay with us. That's where we sort of show some of the future leading products. So, and in 20 minutes we'll give away the pirate pillow. I like it. I like how the cool kid haircut is mountains. It kind of looks like the Sydney Opera House. Just kidding, I'm just playing with you. It kind of looks like Superman's lair, his ice lair.
Yes, yeah.
But this is exactly what we're talking about. This is what I love.
Yeah.
Because you just said this is a haircut, and there's 3 things I came up with other than hair. That's the whole idea of Playfully.
Yeah, I mean, you can be creative as much as you can create something out of nothing.
Here are some basic shapes. Make something.
Yeah.
And that is so fun.
So the whole idea is to have fun and do, try to see what can be come up with.
Mm-hmm.
So.
It is super fun.
Okay.
All right. Yes, we have this child is very aerodynamic.
Yeah.
This child can run really fast. Oh, and I love your concept for why the kid doesn't have a mouth either, or a nose.
Yeah, I mean, that's something that I had to struggle with because, initially I was like, okay, let's keep a mouth. But then, the whole point is I don't want to put expression to the kid's face. The kid has to put the expression, because when they pretend and play, they not necessarily always smile or be happy. They scowl, they get angry, they pretend to be, whatever. So
I love it, and it's I just
it's
love
open-ended.
It's
it's
totally
way.
Open-ended.
Yeah.
And everything you just said, if you just smile on it, it's I'm already kind of bored with it.
Yeah.
I like this.
It's
is
a
so
smiley
much,
then. It's not like a kid's face.
Mm-hmm. And also, this is it is gender and culturally neutral.
Yes,
everybody
absolutely.
can connect to this.
Yeah. So that's why I'm trying to keep a mix of both. This could be the one with the hair. This could be a girl, for example,
or a guy just with long hair.
Yeah, or
either
a
way.
guy. The one with the cap could be a girl or a guy. You just don't know. So it's much more diverse in that sense. Let's keep things neutral. That's best. Because we do see a lot of gender sort of divisions within toys as well. Pink toys are for girls and blue toys are for boys. The blue aisles are for boys and pink aisles are for girls.
Yeah.
So which is not cool. Why put a bias right at the beginning of when they're they don't have any biases in their mind. So that's a separate area altogether to talk about.
Yeah, into it. So again, just give them. I think all these toys would be pretty neutral. Boy or girl, can be whatever you want.
Yes.
So we can do canon. Maybe we'll work on a kid with a goatee. Sure.
I don't know if the parents would be comfortable with that.
I'd be like, yeah, a goatee. That's so late 90s? So like early 2000s. Is that wrong that I said that?
Yeah.
You could
Early 2000, yeah. I mean, it'll be like, yeah.
If you rock if you have a face for a goatee, rock a goatee. Me, I can't even grow a beard, so who am I to talk? Oh, the aughts. Thank you, Daniel.
Yep. So here we go. It could be like a girl with 2 ponies or something. And yeah. There's a fun thing that you can actually do. We can actually make GIFs out of it, where I'll show you how. I'm not making a GIF, but I can show you how we can do that.
KP, are you a fan of Salvador Dali? Mr. Director is asking for some reason, but I feel like it's going to lead to a joke or something.
I'm curious why did that question come up with, though. Right? Yeah, I mean, I like how he thinks without any, like he's a pretty free thinker in that sense. Like he likes to think abstract, and he's a dreamer. I'd like to dream too. So yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So that way. But yeah, I mean, he has a unique voice, which is kind of nice. I mean, like artists, designers, if they have a very strong established voice, it's always nice because it kind of gives them a very strong, personality.
Yeah. He was super creative and one of the best self-promoters like ever.
Yeah.
Because, he was definitely an artist in personality and in his work.
True.
So. Oh, and we can talk about KP's background. I'll also show you that one project.
Yeah,
at some
definitely.
point.
Yeah.
But I'm KP's hype man right now, by the way. I just want to say that again, you worked for Ogilvy, so
Yes.
she's worked for agencies. Went out, did that, art director for Ogilvy. Ogilvy did that stuff. And then I was like, there's still more I need to learn. I think I'm going to tackle graphic design now. Decides to go to Academy of Arts to get her master's in graphic design.
Which is right here in San Francisco.
Yes.
Yeah.
So that's where she's at now. She's in her last semester.
Yeah.
Kind of pulled her away from school, from your
No,
from
I'm
your
glad
child.
I'm doing this.
She's like, I got to get out of the house.
It's
Just
the
kidding.
best way to promote yourself, your work, through your work.
Yeah.
What's best, and of course Behance is another way of promoting yourself. I mean, especially for designers, when we are doing something, it's really, really important to put yourself out there and not being scared of being judged, because there always be some people who would like your work and some people who wouldn't, which is all right. I mean, it's good to have people from both camps. But the best thing is that you need to show your work to get as much feedback as possible, and it's helpful.
Yeah.
Okay, time for some magic. What I was talking about. So I don't know how to do this, but yeah, it's something like this, like where you can essentially replace the eyes with
he's squinting.
And it's like...
Is that what's happening?
Yes. I mean, I'm not being able to show it properly, but essentially you can do it in Photoshop, where you can have 2 different kind of eyes in the different layers. And there is a command in Photoshop, by the way, which can export your file as a GIF. And you can make these small animations just to sort of promote yourself.
Yeah, super fun.
And promote your
I like that.
work. I think it's very helpful in Behance site also if your projects have some little GIFs, because it kind of gives a little movement to the whole project.
I agree, and it's kind of unexpected when you see it.
Right.
Because you think it's just a static image, you're like, and that would be really fun, by the way.
Yeah.
You think it's static,
But it's not.
and then it just like,
Starts
and then it just
moving.
winks at you. No, but it does something really subtle. And I'm like, And it does it like once every 5 minutes.
Yeah, that'd be spooky.
You have a delay of 5 minutes. I don't know if the max delay, I don't know if there is one, but like,
Yeah.
and then a blink. Like, did that just happen?
Or maybe like if you can control it, like every time you scroll down or scroll up, like it would just wink at you, and that would be fun. Okay.
Oh.
So instead of, so now I'm gonna make another thing. So I'll just, so this is like really fun, and I can just keep going on and on with it.
I think you should.
Because, you know, there is like no end to it.
I want to show, can I like, again, in this case, I think this is really helpful because I didn't know about this for years, but I have like a little tip since we're drawing shapes. Can I show you this?
Yeah,
this is
sure.
really cool. Hold on. First thing I'm going to do is...
And it's so fun that it's so simple that anybody can do it, you know, like it's a good exercise, right? I mean,
yeah, let me kind of show you this because this is often the case. Like, you have something like this, and ultimately, I'm trying to create here. I really need to remove elements. I'm going to select everything. By the way, these are just outlined strokes like you have. Okay.
right.
Select all three of these. I'm going to go over here. Some of you might know what I'm doing. And then we have Shape Builder tool. So Shape Builder tool allows me to fill in or remove. So what I'm going to do is, as I roll over it, I can actually highlight that segment,
Oh, wow.
which is really cool. And then what I can do is I would just hold down the Alt key, right? Is going to give me that subtraction. So hopefully you can see that's the subtract. I'm trying to zoom in on that. Subtraction. So I could just click, click, and now we
That's
have
awesome.
fancy hair. Oh, there's even that little piece. See how we have that little piece? Not a problem. I still have to kind of zoom in there and tighten that up, but it's still using
Okay.
Shape Builder.
I would
And
like
then-
to use that.
Oh,
for
and by
this
the way,
one.
this is really fun because I'm using it to remove that one part. But see how it's all these crazy separate shapes? You
Yeah.
could still use Pathfinder because I'm old school like that. I still use
Right.
Pathfinder like all
Yes,
the
I
time.
mean, I'm more comfortable using that. Like, make a stroke and then go to,
Oh,
you know.
totally. And like everybody does. I think it's
Yeah.
funny because depending on the feature, it kind of can tell
Yeah.
you when you learned Photoshop potentially.
Ah,
Or excuse me, Photoshop
exactly.
or Illustrator.
Yeah.
But another thing I was going to just show, if you just wanted to connect certain parts, you could obviously do the same thing. As I click and drag,
Uh-huh.
I'm connecting all three lines, and yada, yada, yada.
Wow. That's a cool feature.
Anywho,
Okay, so yeah, I mean, I would like to use that. That would be
People might.
fun.
people, yeah, you can give it a whirl. People like the Shape Builder. Excuse me.
Pattern, outline strokes. Okay, I'm going to go the old school way.
I think.
Yeah,
the
but
old school.
that's a fantastic way of doing it. I mean, so you just select all of it and then you
Yeah, right
just
there,
click
try
on
it.
that
Yeah, Shape Builder, perfect.
like this,
And then drag over or hold down the Option key. We'll remove
option
it.
key. Oh wow,
Isn't that
so much
nice?
fun.
Ah.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, that's like it's like skipping several steps.
I know.
Yeah.
You're not used to that. I'm waiting for like physics in Illustrator is what I want. Like I want to have two spheres and I want to say these are two objects and I want to be able to push one into the other and one would bend or I want to have stuff melt and push and pull like it's real objects.
That would be something.
I did see that demo internally here a couple of years ago.
Oh.
And
I mean,
it
it's-
didn't make it anywhere. Like, I don't know where that ended up. You know,
Okay.
you just don't know what happens with some of this stuff.
Yeah, I hope like the work started.
Ooh, Shape Bender, Daniel. That's a great name for it. Let's make
Shape
Shape Bender.
Bender,
Let's
yeah.
get on that because you already have it done. It's good
Shout
stuff.
out.
Another new feature. Again,
Yeah.
oh, shut up.
Wow. Yeah, you can actually add that to this slot, you know. what I mean?
Ooh,
Yeah,
that's
that would
so
be your
sweet.
contribution.
Oh, but I want to do my own. I want to do cool hair.
Okay.
I
you
would
can
do cool
yeah,
kid
yeah,
hair.
Yeah.
But
But it's fun. Like you can like keep doing this and like keep adding any cool hairstyle you come across, and you can keep adding those.
I think that's like super fun.
Yeah.
And just another recent addition is Puppet. You see right here, Puppet Warp tool. So selecting that, and this is new, but I can now put pins places.
Oh, wow. So I thought this is like only exist in. Wow.
Maybe they're running really fast. They're like.
That's like a bender too.
Maybe they're traveling
There's
through
like an
time.
animation effect.
Whoa, I'm going too fast. I'm going through the time warp tunnel. I'll stop. But again, if you just needed to bend something, and the great thing about this is as soon as I'm done, this is why I think this is amazing, by the way. I have access to those paths. Hey, they're all still there. It's just as simple as, it's like as if I went in and bent every single one of these.
It's like the mesh tool in Photoshop.
Yeah, but
But it's vector.
Yeah,
So
exactly.
cool.
But what's cool about this too is that it doesn't wrap it in an effect.
Right.
In fact, if I go back to
I can still
this mesh
access.
tool, it still gives me all those points. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm like, you guys make me sick. at Adobe. Hey, you Adobe guys, as they call it in like the Nordics. Like if you're in Sweden, they say
it's
Adobe.
Adobe, like.
Or do you say it in India? What do they say?
That's
in
what I mean.
India?
I've heard some people say it Adobe. Some people, for the longest time, I used to be conflicted. Should I call it Adobe? Should I call it Adobe? Like, so yeah.
Adobe.
I mean, there's been a little confusion out there. Yeah, and I've met people from both the camps, like saying Adobe and Adobe. So
Yeah, it's pretty.
that kind of confused me.
Adobe.
Okay, so we have 6 of these. Oops. And we'll just okay.
And in 8 minutes, we'll just do a random giveaway.
Okay. And then probably you can talk about the project that we were discussing.
Oh, can I do that? You want me to do that now?
Yeah, sure.
Because you're working on faces, so I think this is pretty appropriate.
Yeah, right. It's kind of sinks in with the
So,
project.
you know how you're stalking somebody online? Not really, but first of all, portfolio reviews tomorrow. Here's KP's portfolio, kind of diving into one. We went into this first one yesterday. We're going to go into this Uncle Bubble project now as
Right.
well. And hopefully you can kind of tell
this
us
is
a little bit
like
about it.
a very interesting project because it's a contract freelance project that I did, and I got this project because of Behance. So all thanks to Behance. Woo!
Did you hear? But did you like? That's a big thing. Like
Yeah.
literally from your portfolio,
Yes,
they
yes.
came to you and said, "Hey,
they sent me a mail saying that we like your work and we want you to work for us. It's we redesign our logo. So this is a logo redesign for a Taiwanese brand called Uncle Bubble, and so they are a very established brand back in Taiwan, and they were struggling to establish themselves here in US, and they felt that their branding or the way they look doesn't really resonate with the audience here, and they're perceived as a cheap product. So they wanted to basically upmarket their product, and they wanted to make it more American. So what they wanted me to do is they wanted me to sort of revisit what they started off with a lot of logo options that they wanted me to explore, and
do you have those?
Yes, I have those options that I worked on.
And quick shout out if you're new. Give us love to hear a hello so we can welcome you. Let us know where you're from. And again, we're diving into this project. Thanks to Behance. They contacted you, and these are the behind-the-scenes files.
Yeah, which is not a part of the process. Okay, so these were the logos that sort of kind of that's how I started exploring in different horizontally and vertically, on different concepts. I worked on different things and tried to explore different ways of approaching this bubble toy company. And these are very rough sketches. These are mostly conceptual, and so
No judgment.
don't mind the technical aspect to it.
Don't judge.
Yeah. So, but they wanted me to revisit their old existing logo, which had a face, which is the face that you see. But they wanted to sort of revamp and make it more, simplify it, and make it more stylish in that sense.
What's the full screen command for in maybe we don't need to go.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I kept working on these logos and the colors, and finally we sort of ended up with this. And yeah, I mean, that's the logo.
That's cool. I like seeing how it's made up of all those different shapes too, of all the different circles.
So yes, because again, I mean, I like to play around with shapes, and that's something that I like. I wanted this logo to be completely made out of circles, so I used like a lot of circles to make the shape of.
I just got
Uncle
it now,
Burglar.
because circles are like bubbles.
Yes, got it. Yeah.
You're good.
So
And I'm a little slow. That's very cool.
Oh, that's all right. So, yeah, I mean, that was a fun project to work on, and yeah.
Yeah, I'd say so. I think that's really cool. And let me get back.
Okay, so we have created these set of sort of 6 faces, and the next thing that I would like to work on is, so these just to tell you that why am I working on these. So these elements are essentially, it will eventually find its way in the materials that I'm going to create, which is a poster or something more for the brand. And these will sort of support the visual system of the brand. So after these icons, I'm going to work on these illustration, which is again made out of just simple shapes. So for example, this is a butterfly, as you can see.
Nice.
And this is a boat, again made out of simple shapes. Okay, so let's. We can always go back and fine-tune all of these. I mean, right now I'm not spending too much time on fine-tuning. It will take more than like 6 hours to fine-tune all of this.
Yeah.
So I'm just like roughly showing how I approach these illustrations. And I made these 2 to begin with, and then I have more. So should we make a bird?
Yeah.
Yeah, so let's make a bird. We'll make a bird out of simple shapes, and those shapes would be primarily some semicircles. Okay, so I have a circle here, and I'm going to make a semicircle.
All right, welcome, Mr. Director, using the all caps. We hear you. Inside voices, please. Inside voices. It's like midnight in Poland. We don't need the all caps. Inside voices. So, but yeah, we're actually in beautiful San Francisco, which is also where you live in the Bay Area.
Yeah.
Is all I would like to say. Or unless you want to tell everybody exactly where you live.
I live in Cupertino, which is South Bay. I used to live in San Francisco, and I recently shifted to the South Bay, which
South
was
Bay.
cool. Yeah. Okay.
11 p.m. in the UK. Felicia in Oklahoma.
Okay, so here we have our first.
So, and by the way, I think somebody mentioned this earlier. Actually, I do have a question for you, kind of like, not to change the subject too much, but like, how did Adobe get a hold of you? How did we find you?
I have no idea.
Chances are, how did we find KP? So chances are,
That's a question that's been popping in my head.
chances
too.
are we used Behance to find
Yeah,
you.
of course.
We probably used Behance and checked all that out. And then, like, for creative jams, for speakers, we just have to check out people's portfolios. And then hopefully they're not weird when they show up. But yeah,
They look
they never
exactly like their profile picture.
Oh, it's been really good. Okay, so apparently we're doing pillow giveaway. We're doing
Oh, wow.
pirate pillow. Pirate pillow, yeah.
Yay.
I think it's
I'm
the
making a
pillow and the
bird.
stickers, by the way.
Cool. So I'm making a
According to
colorful-
my sheet from the team. Ooh, and here we have, this is what we're giving away. Just go ahead and say hello in the chat. Say hello. And we are picking somebody now. Adobe Live. The Adobe Live team is, and looks like our winner of the fantastic pillow is Caitlin Hannibal. Congratulations.
Oh, congratulations.
Caitlin has can you attest to the comfort of it? Go ahead.
It's
See?
pretty nice.
Is it pretty
yeah,
nice? Here,
yeah.
go ahead.
Wow. I would love to
Could
have
you even
that.
like work? You know, maybe you're a little tired, but you still need to get stuff done.
Yeah.
This may or may not be filled with money. And chances are it is not filled with money. It's filled with hopes and dreams, because that's what happens when you put your head on it.
Gosh.
You have
You get
dreams.
ideas.
You get ideas. We'll have that sent to you, as well as a sticker, whatever else fun that we can find. But essentially, it's, this SP. You think it stands for special? Trust me, Caitlin, you are special. Stands for Adobe Spark. Been talking about that today, earlier. Pillow filled with hopes and dreams. And chances are, do what you love.
Yeah, absolutely. Love what you do.
Oh, I love this. Oh, I got to do Shape Builder. Oh, I can't wait to show you some stuff. I don't know. I gotta. So that's essentially how we find guests, is usually through Behance, through recommendations. Like, if you know of anyone, always kind of open to hear.
Right.
That's kind of how that goes.
You almost like read my mind, because I was about to ask you that. How is it that you select or you?
Yeah, I know. Also, Lee was secretly tracking you and like sneaking, like observing you from afar, kind of doing some recon
Following
on
me?
you as well.
Okay.
Following you around town, just making it very weird. So. Ryan O'Donnell, we're doing Behance. Essentially, it's your Behance profiles is what it is. So, again, we can take a look. Here's just, all you have to do is go to Behance. Everybody should be logged in. If you're chatting with me, you are. If not, you should be. We'd love to have you as a guest. Just select profile, and this is what we would review, right? I already have a portfolio hooked up as well, but that's your Adobe portfolio that will take your artwork or whatever and then turn it into a fancy portfolio. I swear I had this hooked up. Anyway, let's do. So yeah, that is how that's done. It'd be funny if somebody who won a pillow immediately tried to auction it off to the other people who really want it. So Caitlin's like, all right, bidding will start at $20.
That's fine.
I'm like, you
But you don't get to buy these.
enterprising.
Can you buy these pillows from any store or something?
I'd have to check.
Okay. Yeah,
But
I
there
haven't
is
seen it.
technically an Adobe swag store.
Oh, okay.
I'd have to take a second look. Ooh, thank you, Wes. Ooh, Adobe branded merchandise.com. Because that's a short URL. But Adobe branded merchandise is where you can find it. Thanks for taking the fun out of it, Wes. I was going to be like, you can't find it anywhere. It's exclusive. We sew them each night and give them away the next day. Lies. We'd love to give them away to homeless people, but I think homeless people might need a home rather than just a pillow.
Yeah, it's too small a pillow. Anyways, fine.
And thank you, Arturo. So again, tighten up your profile page. You typically, our first comment's going to be is like, how consistent is your portfolio? It doesn't need to be perfect. We just need to know that you put time and effort into filling everything out, connecting your profile, your different social media profiles, and all that stuff.
Right.
So, awesome.
And I think it's a good thing to highlight what you specialize in and what you like to do in the About section, because that way you can voice your preference, like you like to do typography, or whether you like to work with publication, or you're interested in app design.
Mm-hmm.
Because your portfolio might have a mix of a lot of things, but your preferences could be something very particular.
Yeah, exactly. And I think that's the biggest part, is to fill out that description. Like, we want to know what you're trying to do.
Right.
Couple shout outs. This is fantastic, by the way. We were live streaming yesterday, and you got like some job offers or some potential clients or like
Yes,
hitting you up?
I did had like some recruiters contact me. I think immediately after the live stream, which I felt that it's not a coincidence. And
Yeah.
there were like 3 jobs, one after the other, so which is kind of cool. Wow.
Yeah, trust me, like we do. Yeah, anyways. All right. So, yes, so fantastic. I think that's really cool. And again, I think as we try to highlight as many people as possible, and we're gonna hopefully review some portfolios and
Right.
see what happens.
Can you guess what am I making now? This is a bird, and what is this?
It is an upside down layer cake.
No.
It's a chandelier. It's going to be a snake. It is going to be,
Good try.
it's going to be some sort of lizard.
Lizard.
Is it a lizard? I don't know. I'm horrible at this game. I know we obviously have a gorgeous, toucan. Oh, bird tail!
No.
Peacock tail?
It's a xylophone.
Oh, you switch us up on us. A xylophone. I was thinking animals.
You're close enough.
I again, back to the point of Playfully.
Yeah, see?
All the different thoughts.
You can
that kinda
guess
come
whatever you want.
one
That's the
thing.
fun of it.
I do really like that toucan, that bird. It's cool. Shout out to everybody who's helping us. If you see somebody with a blue check mark, they're friends of Adobe, and we really appreciate you. Val and Tim and Paco. Even though he doesn't have a check mark next to his name, he keeps the show running and also plays DJ on the side. Usually weeknights, but we have him do it during the day, during the streams. Have you ever worked in the UK?
No, but I've heard there's a lot of good work happening there. I mean, I keep seeing a lot of good work, a lot of good design coming out of UK, which is very inspiring.
I want to, since we're kind of talking about careers and stuff, like, I know Paul wants a blue check mark. I hope you get one someday. I'm coming up next year, by the way, is my, I would be at Adobe 8 years come next week.
Wow.
So I've been at Adobe 8 years. My anniversary is next week, which I'm not going to be on the live stream, but I'm mentioning that. But even the 8 years previous to that, I was a Voodoo Val and a Tim and all that stuff. So I was freelance, like helper of a friend of Adobe for like 8 years.
Wow.
And then they finally I don't know what happened. Then they finally hired me and probably regretted it ever since. But that's kind of the short of it. I think it's fun to see Tim and everybody. Yeah. Anniversary's next week on like the...
So what are you doing? Are you doing anything special for...
No.
Are you like cutting a cake?
Hey, everybody.
Trying a bar?
Are you sick? Please don't be tired of me. I'll try to wear different shirts so I seem like a different person.
Any guesses what am I making now?
That's 16 years basically working for Adobe. That's a long time.
Wow.
Can you give us a hint? Because I was thinking animals earlier.
It's very similar to this, by the way.
Ew.
It's in the
So
same
the xylophone. It could be an
category.
instrument. Could be. It's not a drum. It might be a. I gotta do two. Is it an instrument? Yes. Is it a DJ deck? Like, no, it's not. Harpsichord?
I see some. Any guesses? Yeah, that's a fun thing to do. Like whenever I start something, you guys can guess. Like where am I working at? That'll be like a fun exercise.
See if people guess it?
Yeah.
Is it an instrument?
Yeah.
It's an instrument. Is it a drum?
Yeah, you got it.
Oh,
it's
I
a
didn't.
drum.
I didn't get it.
Oh,
Tima.
yeah,
Tima, slow clap, not too loud because the mic's right here.
It's a drum.
Good job. Right. Also, Arturo. Got it.
So it's how like we use simple shapes and sort of.
The 3-keyed piano. Now, Ryan, that's the type of piano I could probably play. 3 keys. Let's keep it basic. And as soon as you add the sticks, drumsticks, it totally works. All right. You got it. I like how it's, has the designs on the side, kind of like fun decoration. While you're doing that, I'm going to review some portfolios, shall we?
Sure.
Getting plenty in, so this is really fun. Can I dive into this? Again, if you're new or just joining us, we're dealing with the Challenge tab. Make a poster, rubber bands, use InDesign, Photoshop, Illustrator, but ultimately you're going to publish out to this link right here. So, or actually down a little further. There we go, the share URL. So that's how we get them. Sure enough, made in InDesign, published out that way, even though it could have been made in Illustrator. I don't have the creator of this, but I love the font. Assuming it's a font, it's fantastic is what it is. Rubber bands. Very cool.
Yeah.
Another fun one, rubber band. And obviously we have the blend tool there, which is pretty cool, right? Pretty sweet. We then have...
Rubber band, right. I like the whole psychedelic.
Yeah, this is like definitely, the top is like definitely vibrating.
Yeah.
I feel it, but I like how it's a little bit retro. Oh, this one's nice.
I like the photo mix mashup. It's like a texture and
My only, yeah. So let us know if this is yours. I want to know if it's like if you just made this today or what. I'm always concerned about like that, but we're gonna assume they just made it today. Siobhan Fraser. Rubber Bands 80s Music Festival. Oh, please let Journey be there. Highway Road.
there is an excellent
Into
book
the
called Rock Posters.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What is it
and
called?
It's called Rock Posters.
It's called Rock Posters.
Yes.
Oh, I bet you it's a great book.
It's a collection of all the excellent rock posters.
How fun! I want all of the. I want to have a man cave.
It's like it's an awesome book to have. So
Yeah.
so much psychedelic colors you see in there.
So Ryan, was that yours previously? Hopefully this might be yours, the Rubber Bands Festival poster. I always appreciate you naming that. I want to give you a shout out if that is yours. Fantastic. Felicia's killing it. Rubber Bands Music Festival. Love it. I love how they always kind of say that it's, Tulsa, Tulsa, Oklahoma. Aren't you in Oklahoma City, though?
Jazz.
Massimo
This poster does look a lot jazz to me. The colors and the strokes.
Rubber Bands Jazz Festival. Yeah. It's pretty clean. Some of this. Adobe presents Rubber Bands.
Is that a plectrum? The shape of the... It's like almost there, but not there. Like
the pick?
Yeah.
Yeah, like a guitar pick?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's a really good call. Like, it's
Yeah.
really close to being it.
Yeah.
I really like the
Yeah. It's
the
really
duotone,
nice.
like the tinting of these and the colors.
Yeah, it's pretty nice how it's been integrated with the lines.
Good job, Fadlan. Next up, Lucian Moldovan. Cool. It's fun when you get abstract shapes and then you start like seeing things in them. Cool. Amanda Steiner. Good job. This looks really good. Like, I think I might have saw a version of this earlier, but she went ahead and started doing the text in rubber bands. So, very cool. Switching back to all your fun
So
stuff.
we have more illustrations now. We have a bubble wand, and we have more birds. We have blocks. We have drum, and we have xylophone. Yeah. And yeah, we have these icons. So we can start off with our first poster, which is what? Which is this. So I did a little sort of homework with the poster. So this brand needs to be promoted, and the three categories that I would focus on promoting this brand is active, creative, and educational. So there are three categories of toy, which are essentially how the toys kind of serve a child's play and learning. So I would create each poster to promote one aspect of this, category. So, for example, the first poster will focus on the active aspect. And so I always like to work with grids when I'm starting out with posters. And what I have done here is I have divided this poster into 3 equal parts. Reason being, I will play with a lot of contrast, typographic contrast. And this, it's often called the magical tree, where anything like you divide it in like 3, it always looks balanced as a layout. So that's how I kind of approach. And that is the basic grid that I'm going to keep, and then we will just go on with the hang lines. Yeah.
Nice, let's do it. It's interesting, like I was showing the crop tool yesterday.
Mm-hmm.
Was that in this session? Was I showing the golden mean, golden ratio? Were we talking about it?
Yes.
So within that same crop tool, there is the
rule of
thirds.
third. Yes, that's right.
List.
Yeah. And that's when I said that it'll be fun if InDesign can have those features too, where you don't have to create the golden ratio, and you can just like click on it and it just appears, and you can just start layouting.
See, that would be nice.
Yeah. So we'll just pull up our font, the typeface that we're working on, which is Gilroy, and I'm going to type active.
Gilroy sounds like it's the lieutenant from a 70s show, or like 50s
There is
show
a
that always
Gilroy.
keeps on screwing up. You're like, Gilroy, get in here.
There is a
Like, yeah,
Gilroy
it was like
festival
bumbling.
that happens here.
Oh.
Yeah, there is actually a county called Gilroy,
Oh, okay.
which is famous for garlic.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's a Gilroy Garlic Festival.
I'm into it.
Yeah, I love garlic.
Do they supply the stinking rose?
So we're going to take Gilroy extra bold here, and we're going to make it really, really big.
Who is there? Gilroy? There needs to be a Gilroy Garlic Festival. Hopefully, there has to be.
Yeah,
Otherwise, it's a missed opportunity.
Gilroy Garlic. Okay.
I like it. Don't mind us. Do you need a water or anything?
I'm good, thank you.
You were good. Fantastic. Can I get something up there? No. In just a water or something random. Sorry, I'm out of water. And
So again, there is an excellent book that I would like to suggest for our posters.
oh yeah.
Yeah,
Please do.
it's a reference book, and it has a lot of good things in it. It's called the How Posters Work by Ellen Lupton.
Oh yeah.
And it's a very good book because it's a very methodical content in it. It's exactly why, I mean, a poster has a role to play. So if you're designing a poster, you can consider those things before you design. Like, what do you want to do? What is your focus point in your poster, and how are you? What are you playing up? Are you playing up contrast, or what are you doing? What is your main message in the poster? So it's kind of good. It's good to see books.
Yeah, I just posted a link to that book, so feel free if you do happen to make a project out of it. A little descriptor is always good if you want to explain kind of what you're doing, if you're taking some tips from the book or whatever.
Yeah.
Oh, Thinking with Type is another amazing one. Thank you, Hector. Ellen Lupton rules.
Yeah, she's really good.
And Steve Santiago says that they have garlic ice cream at the festival.
Wow.
Garlic
How
ice
would
cream.
that be? I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd like it.
I know. I would have to. You have to try it. I'd have to try
Yeah,
it.
but yeah, you never know.
And that is, that's the Gilroy. That Gilroy font is good. So thank you, Jesse. It is an agreement. Sorry, it's going to get really loud here. Oh, I'm so sorry. Okay. Oh, Daniel, what's up, my friend? Good to have you here. Johnny. Oh, wow, we have a lot of Lupton fans here. Thinking with Type's another great book of hers.
Right, exactly. I mean, I just feel that she kind of really distills the thought behind, and there are a lot of good examples in that book. Every book that she has out there, and which is kind of really helps with designers who are starting to understand how design works, and starting to play around with design.
So, yes, thank you so much, Arturo. Everybody's so good. They're like 4 minutes and counting for the to get their submissions in, as it shows over there on that side.
All the best, you guys. You're
Yes.
doing great.
Agreed.
We have very strong submissions that I saw. Like some of them are really good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. Kind of went over about maybe like 10 of them so far. Got a couple more in. Got Rachel's in. Jose Vargas. Good to have you here. Good to have you. Right on.
So,
David Samuel, we will not tell the other designers, but he says you are his favorite designer of the 4 designers today.
Thank you so much. I mean, it means a lot.
We won't tell the others.
It's very sweet of you. Thank you. I mean, I'm sure everyone is like super talented. To be here, you have to be talented and you have to be willing to work hard and push the boundaries. So,
yes. I agree. I think I don't know. Let me just double check. Did you send me that? Okay.
So what I'm doing here is I'm actually deconstructing the word active, and almost like how the ABC chart, but not exactly ABC chart, but essentially you'll see the alphabets, the letters, active, and you read it, and I'm going to play up with a lot of contrast, typographic contrast, so that the word active draws you in, and when you go closer, you read the details in the poster, supported by the graphics that we just created. So, yeah.
I like it, and it just feels like, I feel like a sans serif is, it just feels good for children.
Yeah.
In
terms of legibility, in fact, kids are most comfortable. There's a research that shows that kids are most comfortable reading a geometric typeface because of the the simplicity of the forms and how kids like shapes, and they react to shapes pretty well.
And
So,
you want them to get into forms and letters and
yeah.
So this is interesting to think about because, like, for this product, Playfully, the person actually, if this is a poster selling it, or is it just a fun poster?
No,
it could be a fun poster.
It could be a fun poster, but right now I'm trying to make a poster which is an outdoor poster, which would probably be in as a bus shelter, or it be in a mall, or be it in a park. It'd be out there, and sort of pushing the brand forward and kind of promoting the brand and the services that it has to offer.
Yeah.
So.
No, that's good. It looks like, and I'm going to mention something about that.
Right.
Just so you know, Aleko, says that he is a Photoshop artist. It's good to have you here. So we just basically switch it up every week. So this week is all about graphic design. I personally learn a lot when I'm watching a stream that I know nothing about.
Right.
And then I don't know if it's after listening for 3 days. It's a strange thing happens. It's like I start to learn.
You start noticing.
It's like I'm learning. What's that all about? That's got to stop. I'm like, whoa, I'm here to be entertained. No. But so next week is motion design. And yes, within the next month, we'll probably have a Photoshop design 3 days and all sorts of fun things. Ooh, my favorite person, Danya, Dhanya.
Danya.
Because we talked about that earlier.
Yeah.
I didn't know it was morning. They're in Australia. So that's why I thought I'd point that out. It's super early.
Okay.
And cheers, folks. That's the deadline. As you can see, it says 00 in the other corner of the screen. Thank you, Ryan Dorn. We do this for you. So, we're always open to suggestions, tips. We want to make this valuable for you. Again, we're doing it for you. That's it. We try to find awesome people, right? KP here. It's like, hey, make cool stuff and let us watch. And that's basically what's happening.
Yeah.
We know you've made some cool stuff as part of the challenge, so we'll take a look at those in a little bit. Because it looks like we got like
30
probably
minutes.
like 8. We got about 8 more in though that we still need to review.
Okay.
Aside from the 10 to 12 we've already reviewed. So we have like 20.
Wow, that's
we
like
have,
a pretty
just to give you an idea,
competitive.
these are all the ones that we have to review. These are the ones we have to review. These are all the ones we've reviewed.
So can we do it now, or do we have to wait?
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah.
Just give me 1 second as I open these up. So, thank you, Jose. I see yours. Claire's. Lauren Ebby's. Working it. Robbie Pfeffers. Andrew Gray. All right. Let's dive into this. Seeing if I missed anything in chat. I like it. All right.
I usually like how the contrast works in posters, and there is one project in my Behance portfolio which was a poster design, and which won an honorable mention in Adobe Design Awards.
The which ones?
Adobe Design Awards.
Adobe's?
Yes, Adobe Design Awards.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So yeah. See, there I go again. Adobe.
Adobe. I know. That's why I was like, what?
Yeah. I mean, I'm like, I've been like warned. Say Adobe, don't say Adobe, because
No.
But
I would
just
say,
like,
I wouldn't even say that that's necessarily wrong.
yeah, that's what I mean. I've been like, but why do like people say Adobe and Adobe? So which one is the right?
I think it's a cultural thing.
Yeah.
I don't even think it's a right or wrong thing. I think it's more of like a cultural thing. You know, like
some places like to.
It's like I knew a girl and like her name was Teresa. That's how it was spelled, and that's how but she'd like to be called Teresa.
No,
So
but
I'm like,
then,
okay, she can say Teresa. I will say I don't know. It's very weird. Like, all I know is like it doesn't matter really.
It doesn't matter.
Technically, it would be Adobe. It's named after a river. Okay, Adobe River down in San Jose area,
yeah.
basically.
Yeah.
I don't know if it was Chuck or John Warnock's house, but it's basically
It was next to
named
it or
after a
something.
river. That's the Adobe River. So,
Cool.
where all life comes from. No, I'm kidding. Sorry, I'll stop. I'm gonna review some of these fantastic pieces, though. Does that work for you?
Let's do that.
Some nice letter. Oh, the Adobe Creek,
Adobe Creek.
where the wells. Where the
It's
wellspring of life. No.
Yeah. It's where the creation
And
happens.
it was either Chuck or John Warnock's wife. I'm sorry, I can't remember. One of them, their wives designed the logo way back when. I was probably like 80s, and it's so great. It's such a strong
That's
piece.
impressive.
Yeah, and then Adobe is just mud made into bricks as well. So, diving into this, it doesn't have a name. We have Rubber Bands Music Festival. I love how random it
wow.
is. I don't know what it has to do with rubber bands.
But I just like it.
I do too.
Yeah.
What makes it is it's not
I
so.
like that ball, and it's how interestingly it's creating a face, and I don't know. There's something really fun, and
Yeah, I would almost make. I think this is the fun part right here. This is less so. Like I want to push that down to the bottom.
Not so organized here. Like the whatever these bits and pieces. I'm assuming these are rubber bands or whatever.
Yeah.
So they wouldn't be like scattered all over, or just be concentrated here, and this could be just black. So
Yeah.
your eyes is just going straight there.
Yeah, and this is capturing the spirit of this music festival, which is like we're just some fun, happy people to see colors.
Right.
You know, that's kind of what I gather. But like, hey, we're fun, and I appreciate that. So good job. Huza? Oh, that was actually, it does have a name. Huzefa?
Huzaifa.
Huzaifa.
Yeah.
Here we go, rubber band. Let's go ahead and stretch that type.
It's rubber band, so you stretch it
I like it.
to show the feeling.
Kind of hard to read some of that spacing, but you know, break the rules when you have a reason to kind of break the rules. I think it kind of makes sense.
There's a lot of typefaces going on there. I mean, I see, which is kind of nice. I mean, there are a lot of posters have a lot of different kinds of typefaces, which is also a way of approaching posters.
Yeah,
I mean,
there is a lot on, because this could be kind of typefacey. This is a typeface. With this one, then we have this one down here. Then there's this one,
and then there is that one, and
So there's
then
a
I
lot
think
of-
I don't know, maybe that's also a different typeface.
Yeah, and the red, when it's so close to another color, your brain wants to, it likes
Yeah, it's-
coherence, and you
yes,
want
it
to
wants
push it to be pink, but it's not
yes,
pink.
yes.
But still, fantastic job. We always appreciate all these entries, and we hope you have fun making them. Jose Vargas, you in chat, my friend. Rubber Bands Music Festival. I like it.
I like it. I mean, I just felt that wish this line was a little more fluid to sink in with rubber band. Like, yeah.
And then
but
I
it's nice.
feel like the basics are here, and I just
Yes.
want to scramble it up
Yes,
and make it
yeah,
interesting.
yeah,
Like,
yeah.
have some fun with it. But I like the colors.
Ooh, is that a hand sketch?
Oh yeah, so we would love to hear. It just says poster rubber bands.
I like how the rubber band typeface is so retro.
This one wins for like best retro look,
Yeah,
kind of.
it does replicate the retro feel to it.
And as Daniel points out, it has
just
that nice
draws you in.
perspective. This was almost a mistake. They typically say don't have it connect to a corner. Like that was
Right. It is tension.
a near miss. It's a little
Yeah, it's like
Like,
creates a
don't-
tension.
try not to keep the eye to go away, but I feel like we're being sucked in.
Yeah.
Lauren Ebby has been working it. Oh, I love it. I'm pretty sure we've seen Lauren's earlier today. I remember reviewing them, and I was like, this one is like 100 times better, if I could be honest with you. Not to discount the other ones, but it's cool
Right.
to see her progress within a day.
Oh wow. Oh, I mean, she did submit more.
She did some
Okay.
ones earlier, and
Okay,
I'm like,
wow, that's-
this is like consistent.
I
The
really
last one was like
like,
more
uh,
photos and graphics, and this has a consistent look, and is just fun. It's
But
not
I
so
really
literal.
also
with,
appreciate the effort that you're trying to improve yourself, and you're constantly trying to push the your boundaries and
Yeah.
trying to be there,
And
which
even
is
the-
really nice. I mean,
Even these little things are kind of hard to do. This is kind of a pain anytime you have to do.
Yeah.
This is in front and that's behind, doing that whole look.
Right. Yeah, that's nice. Whoa, it's like the
Robbie.
staples. What do you call those?
Oh, those little balls.
Those balls. They're
yeah,
all balls.
rubber bands.
Yeah.
Staples Center. That's
Yeah.
L.A. Sorry.
Staples can sponsor this event.
Oh yeah, we should get some sponsorship. But then it gets shady, and then there's money thrown around. I'm like, let's not get money involved. Let's just give you some free stuff and not have sponsors. Speaking of, you should drink the sparkling ice. It's really good.
Yeah. Okay. I have.
I'm just kidding. That's my dad joke. So mention
I thought you were like
not
promoting-
having sponsor.
promoting.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was doing. I'm being funny.
Yeah, that's very 70s pop.
And again, I
Pop
want.
music.
I almost want more of it. I want like just go crazy. Yeah. Like I don't like it anytime the it's like the headline of the title is like right in the center. It's like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's good though. It's good.
Yeah.
I love this.
I like what's
blend
happening
tool.
in the background. I wish like this would be slightly more legible.
Maybe.
Yeah,
I
but
think
but I like how there's a lot of rhythm going on here, which is kind of nice for a music festival.
Yeah, Daniel. Again, like this is an interesting one. I don't know what to think of it. I think it's so close to being awesome, like really awesome, but I don't know what it is exactly. But it's good use of color.
Yeah.
Throw that black there.
Yeah.
It's popping.
Like, these bright colors against black really works well.
I like how they're making up these. I don't think these are these.
Oh wow!
Oh, this is what I love about this. It's like a FICA Twigs. Isn't that the name of the group? They said Twigs. It's
Twigs.
Probably instead of Ben Harper, it's Ben Burper.
Burper. Wow.
Run
That's
DMZ. Fork and Folks. Anyways, sorry. Panye North.
That's fun.
I'm just going to switch my screen. The fact that they went to the care of making all these random...
Yeah, that's super creative.
Right? The livers. This kills me. Anyways, I just kind of had to switch my screen and just to make sure I got them all on the magic sheet of entries. 10 plus for the names, Lorenzo. So whoever this is, again, I don't know. It just says rubber bands poster. You win for best puns and fun and fun with names.
It looks like you had a lot of fun. And fun.
Well, I don't know. Lycal Big. I don't know what that is. Anyways, so let's move on. We need to kind of get these kind of narrowed down, kind of click through them. I think we've talked through and kind of gave some good feedback for these. Again, we'll just kind of review these earlier ones. Amanda did a good job. Fun with this. Yeah. Like I almost want to. Anyways, I can talk all day long.
It's nice how you played around with the shape, like rubber band, and created a text out of.
I almost want to see, instead of it, kind of at the top where I expect a title, like what if it's down here and it's crooked and like it's like a design and then you happen to have it say
it'd be
rubber
like
bands.
Nice to see if you can actually handmade those letter with rubber bands, right? Like that would look so cool.
It would. Going through, sounds like Lawrence has a second page. Thank you for pointing that out. Thank you, Tim. Okay, there we go. Debuting the Adobe Band. Paul trading on the triangle. Perfect.
KB on the kazoo.
KB on the kazoo. Rufus Deutschler on the recorder. Kathleen Martin on the keyboard. Ooh. Val on the viola.
Wow.
Tambourines.
Thank you.
Tammy back there in the back.
Let's be fun.
Yeah, that's good times. Thank you for that, and we'll kind of keep an eye out for that. Kind of went over that. This one's still really cool.
Yeah, I like it.
Mm-hmm. This one's nice. This one is nice. Very retro, too.
Very retro,
let's make sure that doesn't have... it's cool. Siobhan's. Yep, that's... I like the approach here, which was all about let's highlight the bands as opposed to... because they're going to be
the music festival.
Yeah, this one's really hot. I certainly hope if they created this today, I'm going to be like, yeah, that's amazing. So I'm just going to assume they did. All right, we're going to get some of these narrowed down. You ready to do this?
Yeah, sure.
And again, we'll kind of dive into this. Okay. You ready for this? This is going to get to be pretty steep. Felicia did a great job. Again, I think this feels like a little bit like 90s. And, again, if that's the goal, that's great. But it feels, again, slightly dated. Again, same thing for this. I think this gradient and then having this, nothing has a gradient, but then you have those gradients there. It's kind of doesn't quite match. I would actually turn this face into the page as away
it's
from.
It's like the eye would draw inside the, it just, otherwise the eye is drawing outside.
Exactly. And it really is just standing up. Right. It's like text, image, mix it up. Try to figure out where the eye is going. I love that one. That one will stick around. I think this one just kind of needs more integration, but it's really cool. I think with the tough competition out there, that one's tough. That one's also fun. This is 1,000 times better than I think where she started.
Right.
And she wins for kind of working with us, but I don't think it's going to quite make the cut because, again, we're dealing with tough competition. What do you think about this one? The problem is this is really hard to read.
Yeah, readability, legibility.
Yeah, I mean, out of all the colors, the background looks good. You could have gone with like even this dark blue.
Like even if you're using such a like less contrast, if you use a big and you can like space out the typography a bit, then the legibility sort of gets a little better.
And everything was like very like centered and
because it's music, there has to be. It should be fluid. It should be,
I think for this one, this is what bothers me about this one. I love this part.
Yeah.
Like this is the exciting part right up here. You get this. This is a gradation, and this looks like a drop shadow, and it could be the same, blend tool, but it doesn't match. That's what I'm saying there. And it's very straightforward. It's like, okay.
And somehow, like, this is stronger than this. Like, my eyes wants to see this first, but somehow it draws in there. So
maybe it's just kind of like heavier.
Yeah, because the colors or something, it's kind of a little heavier.
I will say that it's great that these are, they didn't use necessarily black, but I think their use of color is in general and sophisticated. These are tough colors to match.
Yes. Agreed.
Oh,
sophisticated color choice.
So, again, this is where we're at today. We're in a tough competition. This one's, Siobhan did a great job. This font is really cool. I would have loved to have seen a continuous line from here. What if that was like
small to big and something
yeah,
like
and then even if this connected to the A, connected to that, connected to that, and does it flow to and then something like that. But this like font is kind of what wins about this. But still, it's like I'm looking at these two things as kind of
separate from each other.
Yeah.
Like two sections in a poster.
Yeah, but good job with colors. Like the colors are,
very,
seem to. Thank you, Siobhan. I hope these reviews are nice. I love these colors.
Yeah. I like how neat the graphics are.
Yeah?
Yeah.
For this one? Or just in general?
In general, I mean.
Yeah, I think they're pretty solid. This is fun how they did some of this. I would love for these. It almost looks like an aerial map, which would have been a fun little take. But let's kind of get into this. I don't think this one's going to make it. I have it narrowed down to the top 5.
Yeah.
So
I strongly feel about this one. This has a lot of potential, and I feel that this poster has a lot of edge to it also. Yeah,
I think so too. It's just it immediately evokes some feeling and some emotion.
Yeah.
Because when I saw this, I was like, "This is just good times." Yeah. That guy's just like wailing on that axe.
And it shows that, I mean, the person had a lot of fun doing this.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah, I think a lot needs to be said for that.
Yeah.
This is going to be... We're going to get these narrowed down to like our top 3. And then this one's good, but I don't think it's going to make the cut compared to everything else. The spacing and some of that stuff, but good work there. This one's pretty solid. I know which one I like out of these two. I personally like this one.
I like this one too. It's cleaner.
Yeah.
It's very well structured, and I know exactly where to look at. The hierarchy works really well.
Yeah, the hierarchy's there, and I don't even think this red works at the top.
Yeah.
You could probably do without that.
You don't need that. Yeah.
Yeah. But those colors are hot, like good use of color.
Yeah.
All right, so Daniel's out. So we have these 3. So Emily and Jassy and Arturo, Daniel. Let us know what you think. Left, middle, or right? Left, middle, or right? I'm probably going to have you pick, and you get to pick whichever one you want.
I know my...
Everybody could say what theirs is, and you could do the exact opposite.
That'd be fun.
Yeah.
They'll hate me for that.
No. Well, all I'm saying is like it's your time, and Lorenzo says it best. All 3 are good.
Yeah, I agree with that. All 3 have a very distinct voice, and they all work in their own space very well.
Mm-hmm. We got middle. Wow, middle right, middle left. Yeah, so Anna
So different.
says there, so different.
Give each one a sock. But we have only like one
Yeah,
pair.
oh yeah, and I haven't even mentioned that this is actually for Creative Cloud. You get a Creative Cloud
Oh, wow.
subscription for a year.
Okay.
So, oh, do I say JC?
JC.
JC. I was probably saying Jassy. How do I know? Thank you for correcting me, JC. All right, what do you think? Because we're about 3 minutes away. Which one do you want to go with?
I like the purple.
All right, I love it that you love this one. Boom.
Yeah, I like the energy because, and especially what context we are, using this poster for is a music festival. So it has energy. The poster should communicate that.
We
It
were
should draw
like,
you in.
we are immediately like, and probably because it is so different.
So different.
It's like
Yes. Yeah,
it's like
it
it's
just
a
draws you
sketch,
in.
and you're like, and the
Half
guy's just
scared.
having fun. Like he
Yeah.
doesn't even care that
Agreed.
you're there.
Right.
He doesn't care that he's on a poster and he just won 1 year Creative Cloud.
Yeah,
He doesn't care. He's
exactly.
just busy wailing on his axe.
It really is like it's a very nice approach.
Sorry.
You're having fun.
Yeah, sorry.
That's the power of a good poster,
Yeah.
right?
It really, I don't know.
It
I'm really glad you
translates.
picked it. Voodoo Val has it. There's one from Tima. Oh, good, fantastic. We want to make sure everybody, again, since we are the last session of the day, we want to make sure we get that in there. Is there any closing words you have?
Past the deadline, though.
It is past the deadline. It is past the deadline. Thank you so much. Cool. So, yeah, so we're going to show Tima's. She kind of missed the deadline, but it's
Right.
the end of the day, and we have to at least, show hers. But who did that one? Do we know?
Congratulations.
Oh, is it Claire? Claire Cross? Arturo says, awesome job.
Yeah.
Oh, congrats, Claire Cross.
Clear Cross. Great job. Congratulations.
Tima's. Oh, I see what you're saying. Gotcha. It was kind of crossed out. Well, we'll just kind of show hers. Tima's. I like
I
it.
like it.
We're all over the place. I'm like, which way do I hang this poster? I don't
But
know.
I like it. It's
But
very
it's fun to
well
look at.
designed, yeah.
That slice,
Yeah, it's really nice.
the slice is really cool.
And I like how, like, your eyes go straight here because
Good
of,
point.
right?
Yeah, good
Which is
point.
nice. Yeah.
Everything else kind of goes this way. You have that little bit of space, skate,
Yeah.
and kind of draws you in.
Good use of negative space. And
Tima, great job. And great job to KP. She's done a fantastic job with us today. Do you enjoy your time with us
yes,
today?
absolutely. Thank you so
And-
much. I had a lot of fun, and it's getting better every day.
Oh, fantastic. So everybody else is saying thank you. We appreciate you. And as was JC, is that right? JC, I said that correctly. Tima, join us tomorrow as well. Sorry we didn't get to yours in
Yeah.
time, but we have a full day tomorrow. We got Tina Tooley in the morning, 9 a.m. to 9 to 11, excuse me. You guys can check out the schedule. You can actually click on the schedule tab. When you come in tomorrow, prep your portfolios tonight. Get your Behance profile all squared away. Submit it tomorrow, because tomorrow there isn't a challenge. It's just portfolio reviews. We're mixing it up. And we hope you like it, Hector and Jose and Esther and everyone.
Yeah,
Full
all the
day.
best, guys. Yeah,
Oh,
we'll see
tomorrow's the
your
last
excellent-
day.
Yeah, I have
Oh,
a lot of
man.
work to finish and a lot of work to do.
Yeah,
I'm
it's going to be
excited.
super fun seeing this come together. 'Cause
Yes,
it's fun
yes.
to
Yeah.
play with. 'cause
Yeah,
it's-
and I'm going to complete all these 3 posters, and yeah. Wow.
There we go. We got a job to do.
We got
You
it.
have a job to do. I just get to watch.
Yeah,
You're
you'll have
fantastic.
fun, and I'll work.
Everybody loves you.
Thank
you
you
for
so
being
much.
so great as explaining
you.
things too.
Thank
By
you.
the way,
Thank you so much. Appreciate it, guys.
see you tomorrow, 9 a.m. Pacific time. Thank you, everybody.
Bye. Bye.